Hi, this is Steve Spanoudis coming to you from kind of an improvised space in Dublin, Ohio, where it's just beginning to show the first hints of fall. Hello to the Wednesday night poetry community. Thank you once again, many times over to Kai, for maintaining the space. Sometimes you have an idea in mind, or you try to say something on a theme, and sometimes the place around you kind of makes the poem write itself a certain way, and this is one of those times. Our theme is fall or autumn or falling things, and this poem is titled Autumnal. I walked at sunset in the woods today, watching the deer and rabbits and enjoying the first hints of fall foliage and late blooming goldenrod. I thought of seasonal poems by Millay and Dunbar, Helen Hunt Jackson, and others. But Bierce is the one that stuck, a man of legendary wit. The venue was Thaddeus Kosciuszko Park, on land once gifted to the general for his role in the American Revolution, land he probably never saw. Ambrose Bierce once wrote that freedom herself shrieked in pain as Kosciuszko fell, and on every wind that blows, he hears her yell. Across the street, on a windy hillside, above the banks of Scioto, I watched a slow, multi-hued sunset, shading softly from violet to blood red. These lands were really not theirs for the Continental Congress to gift to anyone. They were Wyandotte lands for centuries, maybe since Edna times. Beside me, on the bluff above the river, is a sculpted stone monument to steadfast Leatherlips, murdered by tribal factions favoring alliance with Tecumseh, an alliance against the invaders. His body was cast down into a hole in the earth by legend, a cave that still exists today. Perhaps his ghost still weeps and wails for the dead. The monument beside me also watches the sunset. Its eyes have watched thousands from the spot, seen the western lands draped in sanguine hues, or tear-shrouded by autumn rains. While some griefs lessen with time, this is the kind that only grows deeper and improves only in the sense that we understand it more. The cruel treachery and backstabbing, the desperate struggles and the stinging defeats, the mystery of unraveling the lives of the invaders, the promises of peace and free passage, written for all intents and purposes in disappearing ink. Leatherlips, I think, knew this. I imagine an alternate history, one in which Kosciuszko took up the cause of the Federation of Western Nations and led them against the invaders, an interesting but pointless speculation. The tribal nations lost a bloody battle at Fallen Timbers, a site to the north I used to cycle past as a child, unaware of the sadness buried there. And that this one event began an avalanche of Western expansion for the invading Europeans and many trails of tears for the original Americans. I'm sorry it came out on kind of a down note, but sometimes the place you're in takes over your words. This is Steve Spanoudis from Dublin, Ohio. Thanks once again to Kai.